My first step is to do a quick gait assessment, see if there's any lameness. Thank you, Krishna. Okay, so I just have a quick look over the horse to start with, obviously after the gait assessment. And then I'm going to assess him from front to back. Hello, mate. Hello. You don't know me, do you? Huh? We're going to be friends? So what I'm doing here, Molly, is putting some pressure on what's called the facet joints. So the facet joints are where each vertebra clicks into the one behind it. And we've got 7 vertebrae in the neck. The 7th one you can't feel, it's hidden by the shoulder blade, but you can get pressure on the first 6. Okay. So I'm just having a little feel down each one, how they glide and slide next to each other. And when there's a problem, it usually feels like pushing on a brick wall. There should be a little bit of give. We're going to have a little quick palpate of the pole. Oh, good boy. This is the main strap muscle here. It's called brachiocephalicus. So it turns the neck side to side and also pulls the ball limb forward. And when you've got any kind of pain in the forelimb, quite often it will be held really tight. Some kind of spasm. And then this big strap muscle down the middle of the neck, that's sternoclephalicus. Feel that. Go into the pectoral muscles now. I'll do both sides from one side. So we've got superficial pecs here, we've got the deep pecs here. Always just a little bit careful around the girth line. I have my hand kicked a few times. Into the triceps now. Over the shoulder. And there's an important muscle here on the chest called serratus. So just have a good feel of that. So this is all pretty normal, but of course I'm going to compare to the other side because there's always, everyone's a little bit different, just like with people. I always brush the back off before I start getting into it in case they're just a bit ticklish or something. I don't want to get some kind of false reaction, so I always just give them a bit of a rub over. You see the tips there? Just a little. They come up like that. The vertebrae are deep, and there's these finger-like projections that you feel along the top there. So just have a feel of the alignment all the way here to the end. And this is where the back joins the pelvis. Elbow sacral joint, there's a lot of movement that goes in here. So just a quick feel of the alignment. Then I have a feel through the layers of muscle on this side. And I'm looking for a reaction behind my fingers. I'm actually pushing pretty hard. So there's no reaction behind my fingers there. But that's going parallel to the muscle fibers. So now I'm going to go perpendicular to them, just with the pad of my thumb. Starting back here at the lumbosacral joint and just looking to see if I've missed anything at all. There's a little bit of some reaction there, that's a trigger point in the muscle. So, he's got a little bit of reaction there, that's exactly under the seat, alright? So I'm going to come back and treat that in a bit. And it goes right here under the pommel of the saddle. This is the thoracic part of trapezius. So trapezius, you know, is the muscle we have between our shoulder blades. Yeah, so it's there, under the seat, and it goes right to the sort of the back of the seat there. Up, see that? And then I'm going to lift him, bend him away. So we get a little bit of side flexion. Alright, so that's good movement. And then the opposite, the dipping down movement happens like this. I'm not so interested in that, I'm more interested in the ability to lift off. Okay. So just going to have a check of the bony landmarks of the pelvis. There's 2 sticky up bits of the pelvis here, tuber sacrale, tuber coxae. We feel through the glutes there. Really firm palpation, that's not reacting well, that's really good. This is the top of the hamstrings here. Very, very powerful muscles of propulsion. This is the quadriceps. In the quadriceps we have the patella, or what we know as the kneecap. In the horse that has 3 ligaments over it, unlike us we have 1. They're quite ticklish around here, so I'm always just a bit careful. But I go down here and I have a feel. And here I've got my fingers between the 2 gaps of the 3 ligaments. So the 3 ligaments make like a triangle. And I've got my fingers in the gaps there, down to the point where they attach. I'm feeling there for any swelling. The quads feel good. Biceps femoris, that's part of hamstrings. And then you get the big fleshy parts of the hamstrings here. Got semi-tendinosis and semi-membranosis on the inside there. So I have a really good feel of those. So I get close, I'm close to him here. He can't kick me when I'm up against him like this. I always take a look in the groin. I look at both sides from here, but I'm in a safe position right up against him as I'm here. Okay, so I've had a feel of the hammies and the look. Just check that we're nice and relaxed around this tail. Yeah, good man. He's very chilled, isn't he? Right, happy with this side. I'm going to check the other side, alright? So now I'm just going to double check by going perpendicular with the pad of my thumb. And I'm not getting that reaction. That reaction off that we saw on the other side is called muscle fasciculation. There's a tiny bit there, I lied. You can see the trapezius kicking off now. See that? But it's much less, it's just a little patch on this side compared to a solid patch under the seat on the other side. And now I'm just going to very crudely differentiate between whether it's deep bony spinal pain or muscular pain. So I'm going to take the heel of my hand onto the top of those finger-like projections, the dorsospinous processes. And give him just a little bit of pressure. I'm not touching muscle now, I'm just touching the top of the spine. And I see if those areas of muscle fasciculation react. So it's a very, very basic differentiation, but it's just, you know, one clue of many in holding a picture. There's a little bit of tension in this hamstring compared to the other side. So I'm going to come back to that. And checking his groin. Looks good. Right, so I've got a little patch to work on here, a little patch on the other side, and probably this hamstring just to stretch out at the end. Manual techniques here to release the muscle. So I'm on the trigger point there, you see it fasciculating? So I combine a whole lot of things to make this release. So one, called digital ischemic pressure, so basically just I'm pushing into the trigger point, and then when my hand goes away, blood flushes in. That's another technique we use where we give that trigger point area a quick stretch, and then you get a reflex contraction, and then you get a relaxation. So we call this reflex inhibition. See that? And that area is already released. So this is the most common thing I treat, back pain. It's an occupational hazard. Depends on who's riding. It's so multifactorial. It can be secondary because they've got, say, a lameness. They're trying to keep off a limb. So they're tightening up to keep off a sore limb. It can be rider, it can be saddle. It can be just exercise related, and they're exactly like us with laterality, so we're right-handed or left-handed, they have a favoured side as well. So lots of factors come into play with this. But most of my work is kind of maintenance. It's keeping good horses going and keeping them comfortable. It's not, I don't often get the chance to fully cure a horse, but I can keep them a lot more comfortable and keep them going. Because back pain like this can limit a horse from fully striding out. You know, when it doesn't fully stride out, it doesn't run as fast. So I consider this like a little 1% factor in helping horses win a race. Okay, so this is releasing beautifully, and he's probably nearing the end of his tolerance window. I'm just going to finish with a stretch to the hamstrings on the other side because I felt they were a little bit tight, which would kind of match with this being the sorer side of the back, because they move predominantly on diagonals. Nice stretch out. Good boy. Good boy. You gotta be strong. Okay. Right, so I'm going to pull his weight onto 2 legs. Lovely. Right, I'm happy with that. Job done well.